Gwen, there's no Nar.
No Glenn? Ah, Gwen. Yes, there is none of her.
And also, it looks like Zahin may be the opt-in here for Dudu, because Zahin has really struggled in lane, but becomes this incredible threat later on. And into the Scion, you kind of get to skip the hard part.
Yeah.
Rek'Sai is just the more common pick, though. So
yeah,
I guess
this is less fun, but it is definitely effective.
There are now 5 threats for GUMAYUSI to deal with in this game. He has to deal with the flanking Rek'Sai, flag and drag Cataclysm. The ball carriers are insane in this comp for the Orianna.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely
she powers
ridiculous.
Everyone, who will also then be sped up by the Sivir ultimate. And there's some peel here, right? Like in Xin Zhao and Sion. There's also Azir. But the coordination is going to, again, have to be there to keep Guma safe. He does not have a tank support with him in this game. In a lane matchup that should be decent, obviously, for Guma and Delight here, but can be a little bit volatile.
Doing that DPS. Let's get onto the Rift here. Game number 1.
미니언들이 생성되었습니다.
All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, onto the Rift for game number 1, DNS versus HLE. And I do need to correct myself a little bit. I think I was a little harsh on Zekka. I think the last...
K-Cup.
Yeah, I'm a little worried. Also a little bit worried about this fight that is starting to break out. 4 versus 4 in the river as they just dive on top of Pyoshik. He flashes out of the way though as Kanavi is now the one in trouble. Can Pyoshik actually escape? The answer is no as GUMAYUSI picks up first blood. Kanavi likely to go down now though as Dokdom collects one for himself. The barrier is going to be used here as Peter with a great pulverizing closer will be able to take down Guma. Flash out there as Zekka gets him to reach about a 1,000 gold lead. And a great start in this game.
In this lane, as we do have a bit of a maybe contest here, late TP.
Yeah, there's a pulverize onto 2 here as Peter makes his way forward. Crescent Guard comes down though as a Cataclysm to bring Pyoshik back in as Dudu is coming on over, but Zekka's gonna get here first. Closer making his way in as well. Can he find it? As okay, there is one of them as Shockwave hits onto 2 DNS. Throw down the Wombo. It's ridiculous.
It's DNS DK right now is what it looks like, Atlas.
Yeah, that's, you know, and that's balance in all things. That's how it's supposed to be. It's all right. We're knocking each other up here between the 2 supports, but a headbutt back onto Delight. And he is just food for Dokdom.
Yeah. In this dragon.
And
or around this dragon.
That's a
free
free
he did not quite have it in time.
Man, I want him to flash so that he can do that again. Double pulverize to come through here from Peter. But no one there to really do too much about it. Flag damage there from Pyoshik as now Kanavi's going in. Surprise, as now Dokdom on the hunt, looking for a bit of an angle here, but there's the flash in, the quickness onto 3, Empress Divide onto all of them! And it's GUMAYUSI that's wiping the floor with DNS. Flashes for everyone, but Kanavi should be able to finish off Pyoshik, and HLE on the board. And DNS can actually fight for this. Pyoshik at half health.
I think they might, if they can identify. I mean, look, there's no Varus ult, there's no Delight ult here. The problem is Closer can't get in.
Dudu has teleport, so he's going to take this first turret of the game and then look to teleport in. He does so right now. Closer now going to get thrown back here as he flashes on top of Zekka. Don't know about that one as he's now running away. There's a pulverize. No, it's a Crescent Guard from Kanavi as he does manage to take down the dragon. Kills the cow as well as Dokdom has to flash out of the fight, but it's a disaster for DNS. And HLE will do exactly what and driving the Rift Herald into this outer turret.
They had the setup, and I mentioned that Zekka thus far.
Yeah. And now GUMAYUSI has a loss. Whisper, he just managed to complete his Mirror Mana as well as Kanavi. Once again going in, surprise, surprise, finds a pulverize onto 2 though, does Peter, as GUMAYUSI looking to try and answer this one. Chains of Corruption connects onto Closer, and he's the target. Quickness charms him up, and down goes the Orianna. As now Dokdom, the next one on the menu here. Kanavi not quite able to find the Winds becomes Lightning, but I don't think Dokdom's going to be able to do too much, as he does have the spell shield. That's going to work. Takes down Delight to start this one off, but GUMAYUSI's got enough damage. And
Hanwha Esports have this insanely strong Azir. The Varus is out of control, and Pyoshik is trying to do something. Oh boy.
Nice pullback there. Pyoshik has to flash to get himself to safety. As in goes Kanavi, gets headbutted back, but I don't know about that. For DNS, as there's the knockups, as down will go Dokdom. Empress Divide doesn't do too much here, as Dudu's able to avoid it with the Void Rush, but I just don't know whether he's going to survive, and the answer is absolutely not. Double kill comes through.
Every one of these fights, Hanwha Life gets stronger and stronger, and unfortunately, this might have been the, for DNS, backbreaking loss of the team fight, because Now how the identity of the storyline was set up a little bit here today.
Well, let's see whether HLE can hold on to this dragon here. As Cannavi and Delight, the only ones really in the area as Zeka does blast going his way over. There's the quickness into the backline. They look for closer, and there's the chains of corruption from GUMAYUSI. Hail of Arrow is going to help Zeka take this one down. As Peter with the unbreakable will trying to keep himself alive. A massive knockup from Dudu though as he takes out Zeka. He's still at full health, but so is HLE as they look to chase down DNS. Doctom does have a big old shield with the barrier. Now Zeus looking to hold him down, but the Q isn't going to land, and GUMAYUSI is still firing the shots. Dudu's trying to take out the Scion here, and he's not going to be able to get through the shield. Doctom trying to get away, and he should be able to do so here as he gets out of the brush. Wanted to actually try and kill GUMAYUSI here, as Dudu, I don't think he's going to be able to seek this prey, as the dragon's still up, ladies and gentlemen.
Does not pan out, but it was so close. See, he goes in the brush here, wants to get that damage on the Q return. It's almost enough, but Dudu cannot get the
Dudu does need to get involved in these fights. Has 3 items and 5 kills to his name. The year of Dudu is going to have to be what they rely on if they want to win this game, as he looks for a flank angle. Now Closer makes his way in with the teleport, and DNS are ready for a team fight. As HLE, they can back away if they would like. Still 1 Baron.
To try to just buy some additional time for that IE to come through. But it is a pretty tough margin, I think. And all the stats you get from triple Infernal Dragon is going to really add up anyways if you give that dragon over. Baron, like Hanwha Esports wanted to trap them there. They set up all that vision, but DNS just farmed and played slow, but played defensively. And they need to send Scion up there. He is coming over. Doctom has to run as fast as he can back to this fight.
Maybe he has to ult to get himself over here as Cannavi going for the engage onto Dudu. Peter finding the pulverize onto Zeka in the backline is now Closer. Throws out the shockwave, but it's onto Zeka, who had already gone into stasis, and they take down the counter, start this one off. Zeus is tanking so well, but Doctom with these 4 items complete is terrifying. Boomerang is, Pyoshik not quite hitting the Cataclysm, but there's the knockup from Dudu, who gets into the backline to take down Zeka, but there is Doctom falling as well. GUMAYUSI doing so much damage in this fight. Double knockup once again, as Closer is the one that needs to stay alive, but he doesn't. It's GUMAYUSI that holds the distance, and Dudu is just getting kited around the map and cannot do anything with Zeus the Beefcake in the front line.
If there was ever going to be a redemption game for Kumas Yunara earlier this week, that's
as many as you can possibly put together. All right, another team fight to come on through here as Closer takes another piercing arrow that just does so much damage. Into the backline does go Dudu, looking for the angle there as Pyoshik with the Cataclysm, but he gets charmed up and taken down to the GA. And you can see Zeus just buying so much space. Emperor's Divide onto Dudu and onto Peter, and Zeus finally will go down. The cinders fly, but down goes Doctom as well, and Peter will follow. HLE just getting a little too big to fail now, as Zeus absolutely doing his job, and Dudu the last man standing.
And of course, Akuma gets the objective with that massive damage. I don't even remember what that item is called. I'm looking it up right now. Bastion Breaker.
That's why you don't remember, because it's got a silly name. It should just be called Weird Metal Pickaxe Item. That's probably what the name should be.
If you're PvPing, you're suddenly PvEing right afterwards really hard.
Well, this is going to be inhibited down in the mid lane, and with only Dudu there, I thought HLE might be going for the end.
Looks like maybe Doctom was going to be able to carry this game in 2 fights. I think it might just be over. Big shockwave.
Yeah, Dudu is trying to survive, and Chains of Corruption is going to snag Closer, and he's just popped like a balloon. Piercing arrow does exactly that, and that is a dead Orianna. Now you've got Zeka going in, looking for Doctom. Great spell shield though, as Zeka will have to go golden to keep himself alive. Can the Sivir get enough worked on? That's the question, as down will go at least the Azir to start this one off, and that is massive damage, as HLE Hail of Arrows finishes him off. And that is going to put an end to DNS here in game number 1. GUMAYUSI is hungry for that kill onto Pyoshik, but he is relegated to the fountain, and he may just even die. Chains of Corruption comes on in, flag and drag for fun, and flashes out of the way. But it's not going to change the outcome of this game, as the Nexus will go down, and HLE go up 1-0.
Statement game from GUMAYUSI on his signature. Varus even pulls out the other guy, and Guma will get it done. He will kill all of the front line, and Doctom will never kill me. We don't need to mark him with 1 man.
Wow, Zeus thinking about an Aurora top. That would be a choice, and that is what they're going to go for here.
It's blind as well. but it feels pretty difficult to punish this pick.
Yeah, I wonder what the choice is going to be here for Dudu.
Is he just going to play Ornn?
Just plays Akali and we've got 2 mid lane matchups. That'd be kind of fun. But instead, it's the Dusante that is going to be his response.
I really liked how simple DN Super's last game draft was with the Orianna, you know, the scaling Sivir, the wave control. This draft for me, I feel, is quite piecemeal in what it's trying to do. And the Cassante is not going to have prio. The Ahri isn't going to have a lot of jungle assist power, whereas Taliyah Vi has been a combo since Taliyah release date.
Yep.
And
the dawn of time.
It is one of the strongest, in my mind, I think has been the best in the early game performing mid-jungle duo in LCK Cup thus far, Zeka and Kanavi. And so there's just not a lot of agency in the early game here. Then you have a front line with this Cassante, but it's an Ezreal comp with Wukong and Nico. Whereas on the other side, for Hanwha Esports, you have zoning, you have pick, you have a 2-item spiking 80 carry with the lead you're probably going to generate in lane already.
Oh, don't you worry about that. Let's get another rift here. Game number 2. All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, on to the rift.
I think it's quite contemporary what it said, because we don't really use slates anymore, do we? We're not living in the Flintstones times. So close to being able to kill him actually with Between Worlds, but he respects it and backs away.
Yep.
First dragon goes over to Pioshik actually.
Well, certainly going to continue doing so here if he lets him, as now Zeus going to get thrown out of his Between Worlds. Looks for some weirding here, but going all out is Dudu, finds the flash, but there is the blast cone. Dudu avoids it though, so he doesn't get further away, and he finds the Q! Max range, that's the
Q3 to snipe him. That's as far. He's like, I'm a range champion at this one specific moment. Just look at that.
Oh.
As he's trying to go Between Worlds, gets pulled in. Blast Cone helps him survive for now.
That sidestep was revolt. That was blind.
He's just like, how do you like playing against a ranged top laner?
Yeah.
If you're HLE, I think DNS are just going to get it.
Let's see whether Kanavi can do anything. The answer is no. He's just going to be backing in the Tri-Brush. Decides to cancel it. Let's see whether they can find an angle as Doctorm. Oh dear, there it is. Cease and desist can't come down, but he swaps targets to the clone. I'm not sure about that one. As now Closer comes in, but there's a seismic shove. And Zeka is going to stop that one from happening. Wow, Kanavi. Was that what happened?
I don't want to see, actually.
Some money did pop up, so I'm not going to say that the zoom in was necessary here, as Zeus might be in a little trouble.
He did avoid everything so far. Let's see what he can do next.
Yep, going Between Worlds here as Closer throws out the Orb of Deception, and I think Zeus may be dead, as Rock in a Hard Place doesn't really tell the story, as Peter will take a lot of damage, but will be able to make it
Interesting
out.
place to drop it. Oh, well, in fact, it will be a Taliyah ult going down. Oh,
yeah.
No way.
Oh, he's going to reposition and still get the charge. Oh, no.
Right, this is going to have to be the first WA TV Taliyah wall segment of the year.
I think so. Let's see whether we will have Woodid there. Hopefully he doesn't talk too much about sheets, because that makes us a little bit nervous. As Doctorm.
He's going to start the next desk off with a clean slate, Atlas.
Yes, and I hope he does hold up a Okay, taking some plates down as Yoshik just by himself going to be securing this third Drake.
Zeus is going to get a turret for Hextech Soul Point. I guess that's all they can really get here is... we did supposed to do this one.
We're going to get Zeka TV.
Eh?
Yeah?
Yeah? Agreed. All right. Well, GUMAYUSI did manage to soak the majority of the Mystic shots in lane, and so is struggling here a little bit. There's a cease and desist. They just blow up Doctorm. Goodbye. That's what happens if you hit all of the Mystic shots onto GUMAYUSI. You just die. Kanavi just says goodbye to you.
I mean, if you put something in front of Kanavi's face, you dangle a carrot.
Yeah.
He will bite.
He will bite, yes. And if you're scratching your head as to why, then the joke's on you. As double ulti going to connect here from Delight Between Worlds, and down goes the Nico. Zeka just bouncing around his circle, and Dudu will survive, but he is looking a little worse for wear, and HLE just coming alive here in this mid game.
Yeah, it's just one overstep from the Ezreal, who has Flash and E. Does not matter. They're going to try to... Okay.
Yeah, Closer just pressing that R button, seeing what he can get done here, but that is a clone that's going to get thrown around. Closer still looking for it. True Shot Barrage from base. As Dr. Arm just announces that he is back
in the esports industry.
I also think that it might have been why the dinosaurs went extinct.
Yeah, that's very likely.
Yeah, crocodiles survive because they have bad hearing. That's why. All right, HLE setting up to try and deny this Hextech Soul. Great charm connects onto Kanavi. He does manage to get Mikhails, but into the backline goes Peter. Finds 3 with the Pop Blossom, but the massive damage from this Aurora comes on through. Pioshik looking to try and find an angle though as Magical Journey gets to light to safety. And Zeus now finds himself alone due to getting thrown around like a ragdoll, but he is a very healthy ragdoll who goes all out onto Zeka looking for the angles here. Does get flung back though and will be taken out as Closer doesn't quite manage to find it, and the flash forward from GUMAYUSI. He sees his targets vulnerable and he takes him down. As DNS, they do have a couple of members left alive, and it looks like we will have...
It's able to help Guma again continue to chip away at this health bar. It's a really long replay. We probably got to jump into Dragon now.
Yeah, I have a feeling because we do have DNS coming back up, so... Oh, it's the steal! That's going to be Hextech Soul! As Pioshik finally shows up here at the perfect time! Takes out Kanavi as well! And DNS, I mean, they fell off the horse, but you know what you have to do, Wolf? You just jump back in that saddle and you start right.
All you need. Now we're starting Baron. Kanavi's dead.
Oh, God. Okay. DNS really looking to try and
Ezreal
make
is
use of this.
pretty good with Hextech Soul.
Does find a Pop Blossom on Zeus. It's not the Hextech gate he wanted to take as he tries to go between the worlds, but unfortunately, DNS is on every side of the world.
Yeah, and unfortunately, actually get a flank angle on the Duck Dom. I think it's insanely good that Peter realizes instantly that he needs to Pop Blossom him and then turn the rest of the team back to focus him down. Hanwha Esports cannot follow the play. It was a really cool idea from Zeus there. On second look, it actually could have maybe even saved that.
Very dark on Summoner's Rift for HLE. And DNS have just
TP flank.
Oh, sidestep there as Doctor might be able to dive on over as Zeus gets on in. Does do a fair bit of damage there, takes 50% of the health bar of the Ezreal as Kanavi moves over. Pop Blossom to hold onto him. True Shot Barrage to do a fair bit of damage, but Peter now without an ultimate. Teleport does come in from the Ahri though, as Closer looking for a flank angle. Dudu is a little worse for wear though, and this is an awkward fight as Zeus dives around the battlefield. Zeka in trouble though as Pioshik gets the Cyclone onto GUMAYUSI, who's down to 50%. Down goes Zeus as he takes matters into his own hands. And unfortunately, DNS have Hextech Soul, and it's just really hard to be a tricky Aurora in this game.
Yeah, in the scrappy fight, when you have the Ahri flank as well from Closer, it's really tough to be in Hanwha Esports' position into Hextech Soul. This is a very, very low health Ahri, and they are going to come over for a contest. Kanavi does have Flash. He's also Vi, but I think the timing is a little bit tricky.
Yeah, Dudu is at full health. He is so incredibly scary, but HLE, they could possibly get this one done as he steals it away! He might be denied an exit from the pit, but they get denied the Baron as well. Beautifully done here for HLE to try and hold.
He's redeemed significantly from it.
And also, kind of ironically, Pioshik's lead was 1,400. All right, Zeus is dead, ladies and gentlemen.
He is
Closer
0-6.
just finds him.
He's 0-6 in this game. He's trying to be a playmaker, but it is just not working out, this blind Aurora pick. And that might cost them Elder in the game.
Yeah, well, it's serious time, Wolf, and he's playing. That's the unfortunate part. That's all right. I know how this one goes. DNS, they have a man advantage, but they may not necessarily have a smite advantage. So let's just see whether Kanavi can do it again.
I mean, he's on the edge. He's got vision in the pit. Maybe they should clear that this time.
Yeah, they're going to have to go for the turn. There's the flash charm onto Zeus. He does get Mikhails, but it does not quite work as Kanavi decides he wants to go in, desperately trying to save the play, and it does not work. Peter keeps himself alive. GUMAYUSI takes the magical journey, has to flash, as there is the Tempered Fate to try and buy some space, but the Elder is picked up. True Shot Barrage, and the Dragon descends from the skies to get some revenge.
Pretty good about that one. He'll interrupt his back in this case.
Oh,
Zeus does respawn here, but is only desperately going to try to clear the wave to buy time.
Well, you'll see whether it won't work. The Dragon's angry, and Pioshik is going to
he clears the wave
on to the Aurora.
He did the other things on the map.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to change the outcome of the game, but it did stop the game from ending right then.
It was correct. It just didn't really matter necessarily.
Yeah. Kind of cute. Let's see whether they have another team fight in them. As between worlds goes Zeus once again. Does do a little bit of chip damage as Dr. Arm taking a fair bit as well as GUMAYUSI getting slowed down. Man, Hextech Soul is stupid. It really is frustrating.
It's really crazy when you have that and the Elder.
Yeah, they have kind of all of the things. Baron's going to be up in 2 minutes' time. They've got 30 seconds left of Elder. And Dr. Arcane shifts over the Weaver's wall. And they were able to break open the base here.
Slow and steady. I mean, he has Sereldas on top of all of this. Like, this game should not be losable here for DNS.
Oh, you say that. But I was watching yesterday. Okay, Zeka taking a fair bit of damage here from the poke out of DNS. As Pyosik over the wall, Dudu just tanking up the Baron.
Pyosik's positioning here really strong.
Oh, Pop Blossom finds GUMAYUSI and Zeus as well. Guma goes into the Tempered Fate. Delight trying to keep him safe, but Dudu will jump on top of him. Goes all out to take him down. Closer is dead as well, though, as Pyosik gets into that back line. And Delight looking a little worse for wear, but HLE, they are backing away. They have lost Guma, but they've traded 1-for-1. And if you're losing by this much, 1-for-1 ain't bad.
Yeah, Pyosik actually doesn't end up getting that much value because the fight happens playable.
Well, a second Elder Dragon Wolf. Let's see whether that is going to be enough to change the tables, as Kanavi could be in trouble. Another Cyclone from Pyosik. True Shot Barrage, a lot of damage.
And the slow.
And Kanavi just barely survives. As it's a hot cup of cocoa delivered from Delight to help him out there. But now he has to go back.
Yeah, I mean, he's not
so
dead.
That should be free Elder.
He's not dead, but he's effectively dead because he cannot.
He's not dead, but he's dead?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Well, Tempered Fate is going to make the Elder golden.
Buy time, buy time. Hexgate in, Kanavi, come on.
Oh, dear. So that is together right now.
It's Exodia with Hextech Soul and the 4 Drake to 0. It could only be more Exodia if they had 3 grubs to end these turrets fights.
Yeah, we need
left.
I need
foot,
Kangas. Where's Kangas?
Arm,
he's
right
the
foot, right
Yu-Gi-Oh
arm.
guy.
Yeah. And then the Forbidden One himself.
Yeah.
All right, well.
Oh, Doc Dom? I don't know about that. Doc Dom.
He doesn't get shoved, and he has
he has a GA. But like that was still very
Like I said, that was unlosable. Unlosable.
Oh, shit, stop it, Wolf.
Unlosable situation.
I've seen the game in this position. Okay, Pop Blossom from Peter finds absolutely nothing as GUMAYUSI, he actually walked into the snare part of it and will be backing away. The Dragon almost takes him down as he gets back towards the fountain. Oh, closer! He will just get 1-2 punch, but Kanavi's going to get answered. Zeus goes down as well. First Nexus turret to fall. Doc Dom and Dudu now standing back, but that could have gone way, way worse.
I mean, they have the cannon minion here. The top wave is super far away.
I mean, DNS have Exodia Wolf. They have that should be game over.
Yeah, I think it will be because Dudu shows back up.
That's a lot of health bar. My goodness, he has so much health bars. Okay, Peter almost dead. As GUMAYUSI sitting at full health here. Doc Dom looks for the angle, has to flash to get out of the way. The seismic shove. Dudu is basically immortal in this game. Just hit the Nexus. Doc Dom, just hit the Nexus. As the Dragon comes down from the sky, Dudu almost dies to the fountain, but DNS bring us to 3 games.
They do bring us to 3. Man, Duck Dom was like, I am a Hextech Soul.
Panther was up, Wolf. That must have been what it was.
Zeus did an insane amount of damage.
He was
in a very suicidal pick, and it's easy setup or follow-up for the Nautilus engage. Pillar makes it a lot easier. Makes
Pikachu,
a lot of sense.
I choose you. What do you reckon?
I still think he wants a tank, but with the Trundle here, it's really awkward. They don't have a frontline in this draft really at all. The Rel doesn't count, especially if she goes Unsealed Spellbook, which I think probably is illegal in this draft. Aatrox, that's a...
He could have been playing new Aatrox, and he decided he just wants to play the old one.
A pseudo frontline here. Very skill-based matchup on the top side. Can be quite volatile. Jungle attention might have to be paid up there. And if Guma takes teleport, which he definitely should, you know, it's going to be hard to punish there on the bottom side. So I think we'll see a lot of jungle attention top and mid, maybe even pathing up to the top side of the map, which is quite unusual. You know, we're seeing a lot of jungle attention, obviously, on the bottom side of the map right now with the AD carry quest being as strong as it is. Zeka on Rise, I don't trust it.
Threes are really fun for that reason. Let's get under the rift here for game number 3. All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what happens for game number 3. Pyosik looking pretty cool with that particular skin. Has no...
Zeus getting more of that fury. I think it's the right call to step away once that Conqueror sound effect is heard. As Closer knows that this Rise has no
Oh
ghost.
god, yeah. Closer just looking for it. Finds the Twin Fang, and that is just
Whatever.
assault.
And that's going to be Dragon. Started up at least.
Well, Zeus having to deal with Dudu, who's having a bit of fun on his Aatrox. Actually, some of the best Dudu moments.
We keep kind of zooming in on it. As you mentioned, it's volatile. I think the observers agree.
Well, Kanavi and Zeka both up here towards his top side, but Pyoshik is going to join, and he just says, please leave, everyone, and they won't. They'll just kill him instead. Kanavi almost dead, though, as Dudu looking for some knockups. Closer here just a little too late, and HLE will be able to strike back.
They're going to try to do it anyways. I mean, Delight has ult. He is Nautilus, so he can root them.
Yeah, does also have Aftershock as in goes Peter. They want to kill this Ziggs. Let's see whether they can actually find him. There's the onslaught of shadows, but down goes Peter. And Pyoshik, now at full health, does have to deal with Zeka rotating over, but Closer is right behind him.
I think it's worth. Zeka had to ult there, or I mean, didn't have to, but opted to, and isn't able to really impact the play so
Closer.
hard in that moment with the ulting Hecarim and all that.
There were a lot of bad guys.
Kanavi is a bad guy.
He is. And he's going to be able to throw down a parking current here. There's a subjugate as well, and Dudu is just dead. Sliced and diced, turned into sushi.
To be clear, I mean, from...
Well,
this is going to be, looks like another potential Dragon take here for DNS. There's a contest, though. Peter on the flank.
yeah, Moonlight Vigil does go down, but there's the hook on to Darkdarm. Has to flash out of the way of the Mega Inferno Bomb. The bouncing bomb's flying forward as well, but it's Delight to go down first. Petrifying Gaze, and it's a double here for Pyoshik, as Zeus has eyes only for Darkdarm, but he's not able to get up to him. And Pyoshik is now just moving forward. The flash from Dudu as well doesn't find the Q, but Pyoshik pounces on the Crocodile. And Zeka and Gumayusi, I don't think they're going to have enough to be able to take them down, although these health bars are so low. Infernal Chains, not going to be enough. And that's the kill over to the Rel of all people, as Darkdarm needs to try and fight this Dragon, as there's the satchel. It gets a little bit distracted, does the Dragon, but Pyoshik smites it down. And Gumayusi just being frustrated. No one really wants to fight him right now, as it's a Hextech Soul once again. I think Peter is just dead. Gumayusi will finally be able to take him down, I assume. But the crashdown comes on forward. Oh no.
Hextech Gate.
He takes the Hextech Gate to safety.
Fast support's dying randomly like that.
I guess so. Wow. Technology really has come a long way.
Duckdom does not have his summoner spell.
Yeah, what about AD Carries just dying? That could be a thing that happens here, as he's got Infernum and Severum not really helping out here, and it's just going to be a bonk to the noggin to take him down. Kanavi going to grab some plate. Still, this Aatrox is going to be pretty scary. Darkdarm does have red-white, but I don't know whether that's going to be enough to actually do anything here, as he's just eaten by Kanavi.
Those have not been as successful for him.
No.
When you take the Aphelios off the map like that, you can take even more. You can take the jungle.
Oh, dear. Zeka he was almost out, but now he's pretty dead.
Yeah, it sounded...
as the horses just canter on top of him. Oh, no.
It sounded like he was going to be able to complete the recall, but
that's what I thought too.
I guess not.
Well, Dominus, World Ender, we've got ultimates coming out here from both of our top laners, as Dudu is just thinking that maybe no is going to be his answer for whether or not he wants to fight, as there are a lot of people making their way up towards his top side. As Hextech Minefield goes down, and Dudu, I think, is just dead. Depth Charge might be enough to finish him off, but Gumayusi, he has the damage and is able to take down the Aatrox.
This is going to be an exchange for a bit of crescendum damage here on the mid-turret. Kanavi does not know that Duckdom is not alone.
Well, it's 2 plates immediately taken down here, as Pyoshik might be in trouble, as he takes about 1 billion turret shots. Onslaught of Shadows to try and get him to safety, but he gets smote. The Magnet Storm is not enough to save the horse, and Darkdarm, oh dear, he is once again the target, and he is once again dead.
Delight is having a game.
He is.
He is everywhere. He's hitting these max range dreads on.
As HLE looking to take down this Rift Herald, they should be able to do so pretty comfortably. Kanavi with the King's Tribute gets full health immediately afterwards. Feels pretty cool there, as Moonshot discovers Gumayusi and Delight.
Going to be maybe a turret going down for Closer if he gets some additional time. Not going to be around to defend this one, though, so could just straight up be a trade. It looks like that is going to be the case. Yep. It takes him a little bit of time to clear that wave, but I think he should get it there on this Dragon, which would be Hextech's sole point. If there's a way back into the game, that is absolutely it. That's additional peel for the Aphelios. All those slows are going to feel amazing if they can secure it. And when you look at the setup here for this fight, they have full prio. They have Ghost and ult for Pyoshik. So this is, I think, the last stand here for DNS. If they mess this fight up, if they cannot win this one cleanly, it might just be all downhill from here.
There's the minefield. Pyosik taking a bit of damage from that as Dudu now looking for that flank angle as Pyosik's running real quick.
Zeka just wants to ult in.
Yeah.
He can both clear this wave and then ult in. And DNS are not being decisive. They want to either push Zeka or start this drag, and Dudu's trying to collapse the other side.
This
HLE.
ward is getting so much value. It is absolutely ridiculous. Onslaught of Shadows does come in, but Zeka was ready for it as they saw exactly what they wanted to do. Pyosik's running real fast with that Ghost, but Zeka used his as well as the Flash. But now no Onslaught of Shadows, and Dudu in the back of this Dragon Pit does have to get himself out with that Umbral Dash.
I mean, basically, HLE have checkmate here with his position. I mean,
Yeah.
Zeka lost his summons, but they lost the Hecarim ultimate, so I think they're pretty okay with the trade, because Zeka could just use his ult to get into this fight at any moment here. And DNS are going to have to find an angle with Peter, or just leave, question mark? I guess they're just going to say, look, I mean, this is just not viable. It was checkmate. Nice try.
And Rift Herald is piloted here by Delight. I don't know whether that's exactly choice. Still yet to have that new one, but we'll see whether he puts that together next. As he does have a possible angle. There is the Onslaught of Shadows as he gets on top of GUMAYUSI. He flashes away. Hextech Minefield is there though, and down goes the horse with zero response from DNS. As Dudu now looking for it against Zeus here. Hits basically everything that he wants to, but does still have to get himself out as Peter crashes over the wall. That is going to keep him safe.
It looked like a huge opportunity for Pyosik and crew. There's just no follow-up.
Yeah.
Guma flashed, and that
quite
was
a few times.
So many of Pyosik's iconic wins in the LCK have been with this champion in late game scenarios where he saves the game. Dudu.
Yeah, there is the Umbral Dash flash, but unfortunately there's a cone, and sometimes a cone is all you need. And that is what takes down a Dudu. Turret is still pretty healthy, and this Cassiopeia doesn't do a massive amount of damage to them. Does have the first 2 items completed though. Those scaling ones are now done. But HLE are just taking an inner turret here towards the bottom lane.
Yeah, I think that this is not really the trade that DNS wants, but it's the only trade that HLE will allow.
Yeah, and they're also going to take an inhibitor turret.
He doesn't want to ult that. Wants to get on top of the champions with that ability.
Well, DNS not turning their attention towards this mid lane. Wanted to get control there as the Dragon going down lower and lower. Zeus and Dudu just fighting off to the side. Minefield is put down there by GUMAYUSI. Zeus gets into the pit, Mega Inferno Bomb on top of DNS as they look for the angle. Dragon is secured here by HLE, but now the fight is on. Down goes Delight to start it off as red-white guns have been put together by Doctorm. Zeka able to hold him in position with that Rune Prison though. And so it is just a kill and trade for the Dragon, and I think HLE are pretty happy with the outcome.
HLE setups on both of these DNS need to win a fight. Even 5,000 gold lead here, be damned, is some setup here with Closer and Peter. Or maybe if the Hecarim can actually do something this game, it would be great.
Yeah, Peter is in trouble, does crash over the wall, has to flash to avoid that one. Mega Inferno Bomb comes down, and Peter is so close to dead. Zeus will be able to get it done as there's a Realm Warp. Petrifying Gaze onto 2, and the Onslaught of Shadows comes through as well. Doctorm trying to get the damage down as he flashes out of the way. Good use of the Graviton there to peel for himself. Zeus just makes his way out. And Moonlight Vigil, I don't think that's going to quite be enough there. Zeus is pretty tanky. Still, it's a lot of things he can do from a very long range, but still not able to kill the Crocodile.
Is it enough to stop the Baron? I don't think so. Zeus needs to be careful, though.
Yeah, Kanavi is so incredibly healthy as well. He can tank this for days.
There's no engage. There's no way to get on top of Guma. He can actually stand in the front. He does not care. And I think that is just finally going to be the Baron going over here for Hanwha Life.
Yep. And they also got the flash out of Doctorm as well as the Ghost. So next
a lot of damage on the Zeus.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, now as DNS, you're like, well, that's it. We don't have any engage. We can't get them. We can't get the bad guys.
Well, this inhibitor turret is not long for the world. That's just going to blow up thanks to a satchel. Inhibitor is going to follow as well.
I mean, there were 2 in top lanes. They can just get this for free.
Yeah, teleport flank angle for the Cassiopeia of all champions. They take out 2 inhibitors.
They are kind of in an awkward spot here, though, with Closer's angle.
Yeah. As the Hex Gate for Zeus, he's on a pretty good flank angle as now Kanavi dives on top of the Snake Lady. Mega Inferno Bomb goes down and she will die. Onslaught of Shadows a little bit late in this one as Doctorm is the target and he's swept up by Zeus. And HLE, I think, will now just parade towards the enemy Nexus and take it down. DNS, it was a decent start. They had that one good fight, but it's been all HLE the entire time since. 10,000 gold the lead, and they will be able to pick up the win here and make it 2-0 on the week.
HLE bouncing back strong. It was not the most convincing series from this squad, and if you're having trouble picking POM, just vote Delight. You're welcome. I made the choice for you. It's really the right call. He was the most consistent performer across his team.
GUMAYUSI's going to win it though.
Yeah, but if you're having a moral quandary, if you're having an uncomfortable conversation with your fellow analysts or